Hey everyone, and welcome back to Caught Lookin. This is episode 7, and we've got a great crew tonight to keep the off-season talk rolling. Joining me tonight are Allie, Jenell, Mikayla, and Nicole. Let's get into it. So, first thing I think we're going to chat about is the postseason interview with Vogt and Antonetti. Um, I've mentioned this earlier, but Antonetti is a uh great at saying stuff without really saying stuff.
His biceps are so big because that's where he keeps his secrets.
He does pop out once a year looking extremely fit in a press conference.
He really does. Yes, he is in there with the boys pumping up. He probably that brand new they redid the weight room too, didn't
Yeah,
they?
I will
he was
say,
testing it in the off season.
I will run through a brick wall for Stephen Vogt, though. Every answer he gave, while I wanted more out of some of his answers, every single question I was like, "Oh, dude, I just love him. Like, I love everything about this man. I love his philosophy at baseball. I kind of wish he would stop platooning people, but I just love the way he like approaches the game. And I do think his take has just been so positive for our program. I'm
I
looking at
also really appreciate how he was just like, they asked him, they're like, "Hey, so what do you feel about the season? Like in our, the big comeback and the 15 and a half games and everything." And he's like, "I don't know. I don't know what happened." Like he was just straight like, "I'm as surprised as you guys are. We had fun though."
I, you could tell there were times where Antonetti alluded to maybe some external additions or potentially signing some free agents, but with every single answer, you could tell that Vogt did not care if that happens or not. Like he's just so excited to continue with the same group of players. Like
Mhm.
he loves those guys so much. He does not care if he rolls into spring training with the same 40 guys that were on that 40-man roster this year.
One thing I really took away from it was that both Vogt and Antonetti were not happy with how the season ended. I
Yes.
think it was Vogt was just like, cool, we won a division. That's not a World Series. And as much as I like that the fans were pretty, the reasonable fans were, pleased with how the season ended. No one expected the division and, looking forward to how we can improve next year. For Vogt and Antonetti to be like, that was not enough. Really, like, they can say as much as they want and it needs to be proven true, but that really gives me hope that they are pushing um to spend the right money, not just blindly spend money, but spend the right money and reinforce the roster where they can. They did improve pitching, and while the improvements, one is still is pending well, I can't speak today. Suspension. There we go. Um, they did improve pitching. Our starting pitching looked phenomenal this year. And they know what they need. And they just weren't content with how it ended, and I don't think the players were either. And that's how you get Brian Rocchio putting on more muscle and becoming a home run demon.
I
I
like
think
that
that's a
idea.
good um transition to the one thing that came up repeatedly from Stephen Vogt was that players need to hit the weight room. And I don't know if that's just manager speak or how he approached his offseason as a player, or if that is something that actually is important to him and that he's emphasizing in these players. But in answers to different questions, I want to say maybe 15 minutes apart, he mentioned our players need to get in the weight room this offseason. So I'm curious to see if they come in looking bigger, stronger.
Ripped.
Get
Just
on,
like
get on that
Antonetti.
Chris Antonetti bicep plan.
Antonetti is writing down his training plan as we
Yeah.
speak and emailing it to every single player as they get into as they head home. They're going to be
Every player is getting a Bowflex for Christmas.
I do think there's a lot of stats that suggest that we should bulk up. Like even just like in our hard hit rates, like the lowest in the MLB. Um, I think a lot of players could benefit. I also think it also helps like with the endurance of a long season.
Mhm.
I was a college athlete and we left every summer with a list of workouts to do and they were just as important as everything you did during the season. So I guess I'm okay with them hitting. I'm okay. We see a buff Stephen Kwan, count me in.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm really interested because I think the hard thing with professional athletes is I don't think you can really tell them what they have to do over the off season. I mean, you can make your recommendations, but at the end of the day, that's their off season and they're going to do what they want to do. Um, but Vogt made an interesting comment towards the end about how he could be more involved in what they're doing in the off season, and that was a lesson he learned coming off of last off season is that maybe he wasn't involved enough in what the guys were doing in their downtime. And so I'm curious to know how those conversations went or what brought that up, or if maybe that played a role throughout the season and how things went was his, I guess, minimal involvement in their off-season plans. I'm not sure how much. It seems like everyone's pretty bought in and that they had a lot of conversations about what the off-season's going to look like. But yeah, I'm curious to know how much of the team structure guys are going to follow this off-season.
And that tells you who to invest in, if they invest in the team or not.
It's a good point.
Yeah, I would assume that Vogt's hands off last year was because he was a first year manager and he wasn't sure where that line was, like how much as a player, he could have been like, don't talk to me during the off season. This is my time with my family to do what I want, and I can take care of my own off season stuff. But that also could be coming from a guy who was a vet who knew what he needed to do and how he needed to do it. Whereas, we've talked again and again about how young all these guys are. So some of them are still figuring out what's best for them, how to properly, like some of them are still growing. They're so young. Like it's easy to put on easy, quote unquote, to put on muscle when you're younger or to bulk up a little bit when you're younger and really like make those good um habits in your off season to figure out, and there's still a lot of growing that a lot of these really young kids can do. So yeah, it would be interesting. I know we're not going to hear it because the org is so tight-lipped when it comes to a lot of the internal workings. But it would be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how everyone looks come spring training and what potentially what their off seasons look like.
And I think
Time to
we have
keep an eye on
to,
their. Sorry.
no, we have to keep in mind that the baseball off season's pretty short.
Yeah.
Like there's only so much progress you can expect someone to make in the 3 to 4 months they have off, especially considering it's over the holiday season. It is
Mhm.
their only time for vacation. So it's not like they are just nose to the grindstone, work all day, every day like they are in season. There's only so much progress you can make in one off season. So I love that they're saying it. I think we need to keep our expectations realistic for what guys can achieve in that few months span.
Yeah, really, they're probably
Yeah.
not doing anything until like early to mid-January.
Hmm.
Janelle, did you say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say because I almost forgot about some of the guys that we have in our roster. So it's gonna be interesting to see what everybody looks like. And we have a lot of guys coming back from injury that,
Hmm.
we haven't seen healthy in a very long time. So, because we have like Lively, I think Sam Henches might be coming back. I don't know. I didn't look up the status of
I mean, we
a
didn't,
lot of
he's been
guys'
out for an
rehabs.
entire year, so I would assume that he's at least going to be pitching, at least progressing through his rehab at that point on the mound and very soon coming back. That would be my assumption.
Yeah, we're gonna get back, healthy David Fry and,
Hmm.
healthy Chase DeLauder, hopefully.
Fingers crossed, man.
Fingers crossed, like guys that can contribute that we haven't seen in a long time.
They did mention that DeLauder is not going to be participating in the Arizona Fall League. Antonetti did say that that was because he got some reps in the postseason, but also I have a feeling that that's also like we don't want him to hurt himself in the Fall League.
At
We
some point,
also
you got to age out of the fall league, right? Is
That is
there a
true.
cap on how many times you can participate in that?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Didn't Jose do the Winter League like 2 or 3 years ago? It was either the Fall League
That
or the
would
Winter
be
League.
hysterical if he did.
But I was gonna mention that, Arias is, I think, yeah, Arias is doing the Winter League, and that
Yeah.
kind of has me nervous because the last time he did the Winter League was when he was kind of not great, and then he didn't do the Winter League last year. It was pretty well good defensively, so I'm hoping it doesn't bite him that he's putting his body through a winter league.
My bold prediction is that Gabriel Aris's condition coming into spring training will be some other team's concern.
Same.
Yeah.
That is also
Ooh, hot take
Anyway,
from Allie.
I agree with this hot
Brokio can play
take.
short till Bazana's ready.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, we do have a bit of a log jam there when it comes to um a- fancy that a middle infielder long jam. We've never heard of that before. That's not something that we experience every single year.
Could someone
Yeah,
please
what's
spare center
Juan
fielder?
Burrito's status?
Oh, you know
oh,
what? Actually, hold
Juan
on. They were
Burrito.
just yeah, so Mizell in his it was an article from October 7th. It was basically kind of like a postmortem on the uh interview that the post game postseason that Vogt and Antonetti did. But he did toss at the bottom there that the Guardians expect to gain an extra option year on prospect Juan Brito, who missed most of the season with a thumb and hamstring injuries. Brito was in competition for the club's second base starting job last spring. So it's I'm not sure. That doesn't say like what his status is going to be for next year. Nicole, have you heard anything?
I haven't heard anything, but that's what they did with Valera. They got an extra option year with him. So he was able to pretty much redo a year in AAA and work it. He was supposed to work his way up, but then he got injured again and again. So, but we got him now. But Brito, so that I would, hanker a guess that that means that he's probably slotted to start in AAA. Um, but still, that'll be a nice little mid-season plug into the lineup.
Yeah, I'm glancing. I just did a Google on MLB trade rumors. I was looking to see if there was any. I don't see anything specifically about where we think his health is going to be by spring training. Um, it looks like he might be healthy for the start of spring training, and there's a chance that he could be in the running for um, second base.
Yeah.
So
I
we'll
think
see.
there's a lot of positive for Bazana though. Because after so I think he struggled a little bit before his injury. And
Hmm.
then when he came back from his oblique strain, I feel like that was a different man right there. Like taking his at bats were just so much more impressive. And so if that can like translate in the off season and then we could see him maybe up earlier than we would anticipate next season, I think that'd be nice. The team's young. Yeah, at a certain point, you just gotta just like roll with it.
Yep. And
Yeah.
with Baz too, he wasn't getting thrown anything before or after injury. So he would, if all he learned this entire season, like even with his downtime, was how to take a walk and take a ball, fine, cool. Someone's gonna throw him a mistake when he gets called up, and he's
Two
gonna
home.
launch it. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna, that we see that with a lot of rookies. They don't, the book's not out on them yet. They don't know how to pitch to them, and the rookies will take advantage. So it'll be one of those things where, he might, you know, absolutely just kill in his first, couple games, couple, week or month or so. And at some point the pitchers will learn and he'll take a dive, but then he'll hopefully, fingers crossed, figure out how to fix that and come back up, which I have hope for him. He seems to be, I haven't watched a ton of his games or how he's doing, but he seems to kind of have a good head on his shoulders and know what he's doing and how to navigate, especially with how quickly he's shot up through the minors so far.
I
Yeah,
hope
there's
we're
a
a little more.
reason. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, I hope they were a little more aggressive with his promotion than we are with maybe some other people. And Antonetti did say that as much as he wants to add an external option, he doesn't want to block opportunities for guys in the system. If there's one thing this team loves doing, it's blocking opportunities for guys in the system.
That's true.
But maybe next year's different. Who knows?
And that's what I was gonna say is the way he's been Bazan's been promoted. He was drafted last year. Like
Yeah,
he's only had one full season of professional baseball and he's
not even a
already in
full season
AAA.
because he
And
was
I
injured this year.
right. And I know a lot of his draft classmates made their debut this year, but you know, I they're smart. I think second base, they're not going to go get anyone because worst case, you roll out Schneemann and you can platoon Schneemann, Roki. You can platoon whomstever you feel can play second base until Bazana's ready.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I mean,
I
going into spring training, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
no,
Nicole.
you're good. You're good.
Um, we have we've got Rokio, Arias, Schneemann, Angel, if you still consider him an infield option, Bazana and Brito all competing for those two infield spots. And I think it's unlikely we come in with all of those names in the mix. I think one or two are not going to be with us any longer. I don't know who. Um, but I feel pretty good about the options we have there, at least as a placeholder until he makes it. And who knows, maybe we are aggressive with that promotion and he does win a job right out of spring training. It's not common for this team, but Kwan did it.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I think that Bazana certainly has the talent and the work ethic for that to happen.
I say the other thing that could happen is that they keep I don't think Bazana, unless he is just absolutely fire through spring training and batting 1,000. Um I think my hot take is going to be that Burrito makes the team on opening day and they use him as a trade piece. They let him see how he does in that first month or so. And if he is actually, doing well and working it well, then they might try and use him to find a bat or something, depending on what else is going on in the outfield, infield type of thing. And then bring Bazana up after they trade Brito. I think that's
It's
going to be my
funny.
hot take for the season.
It's funny you say that because I was gonna piggyback off Ali saying that one or two of those names aren't coming back, and I could totally see Rokio being moved. I would hate it. I love Rokio, but he's a that's a half decent person to bundle with. Insert bullpen pitcher here to get a right fielder or a center fielder or whatever they deem we need.
I never thought I would say this, but that would bum me out so
Yeah,
badly if they got rid
I
of
would
Rokio at this
cry.
point. Like,
Honestly, same. He's grown on me. I need
he
him to
really
get better,
has.
Oh,
but
I
like,
miss him too much.
wait, the thought of him getting traded is I shouldn't feel this sad about it.
Right?
Oh. But like him and like Henches as a trade package.
See?
That's
I
yeah.
mean, yeah,
Oh.
that could be a Bieber type trade package where they do some rehab stuff for the Clippers and see how he does, and if he is showing off like Bieber was, send him off
Yeah.
someplace to but get like a major leaguer, not a minor
Yeah.
leaguer. Can we get like a real player and not like a
Bring
future
back Ernie
player?
Clement.
Oh my God.
I just think after an off season in which you traded two fan favorites, you should somewhat consider making your fans happy this year and
Hmm.
not trade Brian Rocchio. That's a terrible baseball take. That's just a my feelings take. But no, we've been through enough. Let me keep my favorites.
Seriously, I agree.
This is my
Speaking of kind of favorites, kind of I mean, I think we can all agree that Carl Willis is a favorite of ours, that we all love him deeply and dearly. Um And it was funny during some of the interviews that Carl is, mulling over what he wants to do. And I made this comment on Twitter too, that at this point in his life and his career and his age, that I think every off season is a moment to mull over what he wants to do with his future, and if he wants to retire or if he wants to come back. And I was playing off of one of Allie's tweets that said, basically, like, then he starts thinking about watching replays or watching old film, watching film from the year, and thinking, oh, I can do this with Tanner, or oh my God, if I could do this with Gavin and we could work on this. And then he just texts Vogt and he's like, okay, he's back. We're good. I don't have to look for another pitching coach.
yeah, I don't think
Man.
the only reason I would ever think that he was leaving anytime soon, and by leaving I mean I'm sure this would be
Retiring.
he retire, yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
not
just
going
they
anywhere else.
brought Kluber in. So that's the only
Hmm.
reason, but I didn't know if that was going to be like a 5-year plan or like a 2-year plan, you know?
Which I do think if Carl does retire, Kluber is the only person that I'll accept as a replacement. But even that I'm not ready for. I mean, Slade Ciccone talked about how much Carl meant to him, and I don't think that project is finished yet.
No.
I think Gavin and Tanner are still both becoming the best versions of themselves. This just doesn't feel like the right time for Carl to leave, and I know nothing about Carl's personal life or what he's got going on. So if Carl needs to leave for himself, more power to him. But I feel like Carl is boy who cried wolfing me a little bit. Like he does this every offseason, and I'm gonna be so blindsided the day he finally retires. Because like you said, he's mulling over his future at this time every single year.
Yeah.
And he would be the type to retire in the off season when we can't like standing ovation for him too.
Yeah.
Yes.
No attention.
He'd be
at
like
all.
Tito, where he just does it.
Yeah, where he doesn't say anything. And then we have to force him out there to appreciate him.
I
Then
will
he comes
say
back
though,
2 years later with the Cincinnati Reds.
yeah. Gavin mentioned that Kluber was playing a pretty big role in his development this year. So I think we're already kind of seeing that handoff happen. And, you know, you can't discredit Brad Goldberg. I know he's in the bullpen and will probably stay in the bullpen because, like, look at the monsters he keeps creating out there. But, like,
Keep him
there's a
there.
lot of cross development between Kluber, Brad Goldberg, and then Carl Willis that is undeniably going to be. I'm just glad to see that it looks like if Carl, whenever he decides to retire, that the pitching factory has half a chance of continuing. Because that's always the concern. You know, we don't have a hitting version of Carl Willis. We just have Carl Willis. But heck.
No, yeah, I do think I agree that Goldberg is, I mean, they've given him his flowers too. I've seen a couple people on Twitter and elsewhere call out Goldberg and say, you know, he does a lot out there and he is in fact helping those guys. He's not just a babysitter in the bullpen. So yes, I do think that, and also, you know, Kluber is obviously he's Kluber and I think he is definitely, I'm praying that they brought him in to tutelage under Willis for the one day when Willis does finally say, you know what, I'm good. I think it's time for me to go home. And bringing Kluber in, that would be like Ali said, I think that is the one replacement that I will accept for Carl Willis. Mizell also mentioned in his article that there are currently 6 manager vacancies in the MLB as of, what was this, October 7th. So obviously there's probably others that might happen as time goes on, who knows, but currently it's the Giants, the Braves, Angels, Orioles, Nationals, Twins, and potentially the Rockies, he says. Albernaz, we've mentioned this before, Vogt's right-hand man, bestie forever, was interviewed last year for the Marlins and the White Sox and obviously declined both of them to stay with Vogt. But I really think we're at the point where it's going to be a sooner rather than later moment where Albernaz is going to be just enticed too hard by one of the vacancies that comes up. And he will eventually be poached. So that's something else.
The
You think
Giants
the
having the
Giants?
opening, because that's where him and Kai and all of them.
Oh,
Yeah, so
yeah.
he's already familiar with the organization and the front office there. So I could see him. And the other person I think, and this isn't, you know, Cleveland related, that should go on to get a manager spot is Grady Sizemore.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, please move on. Just go bring the Angels to success.
What is he
They need
doing
you,
right now?
Grady.
He's still with the White Sox, right?
Yeah, he's their Craig, from what I understand.
Oh, okay. He's like the bench
No,
coach,
don't quote me
basically.
on that.
Free Grady. Get him out of there.
Yeah, free Grady, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not
I
sure
did see
exactly what he's
somewhere
doing
that
over
the
there, but
Angels want Pujols. So I don't know if it
Yeah,
would be,
that's true.
I don't know
saw
how true
that.
that is, but I don't know that he'd end up there. But free Grady, get him somewhere.
He is the offensive coordinator for the White Sox.
oh, good to know.
Mm.
That makes sense.
Okay, they've been better offensively. I'll give him
Yeah.
that.
Fine, send him to the Rockies or someone. I don't know. Just get him out of the White Sox, please.
I
Yeah,
don't know if the Rockies is
seriously.
better. I don't know.
Denver's fun though.
Literally anywhere else, actually.
Not the White Sox, not the Rockies. anywhere else. I think we're good.
Actually, send him to San Francisco. That seems like an okay situation. And then our
Yeah, there
guys
we
are
go.
safe.
Like Indiana Jones switching out the bag for the statue. Instead of taking Craig, it's Grady Sizemore.
Yeah, take Grady.
I will say I don't like the idea of Craig leaving this offseason, because I've mentioned it before. Obviously, Austin Hedges is the natural successor to Craig Alvarez, and I don't think Austin is ready to retire yet. So I do not think that. I mean, granted, also they could find anybody and just kind of fill him into the bench position, being like, you're only here for 2 or 3 years, just FYI. But I do think also like Alvarez and Vogt really are like just such a good pair together. Like, I don't know if you see them in some of like the clips when they show the bull, not the bullpen, but the dugout. They're goofy together. They just seem like they're just really, really they click on multiple levels. So I don't think after just 2 years, Alvarez is ready to leave yet. Um, but we'll see. We'll
They're
see
the
what the future
definition
holds.
of work spouses.
Oh, literally. Yes.
The one video of Alvarez throwing the sunflower seeds at Vogt during the 10-game losing streak, I was like, this is they're best friends.
And Vogt is like, you, if you do
He's
that
like
one more
taking a
time.
deep breath. He's like, oh.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
I'm
want to
not.
see the God's ball, the video on my
God's
timeline
ball.
too.
We'll have to
I
retire
can't do
God's
the accent.
ball.
We
Oh,
can't.
I'm not
God's
ready.
ball.
I'm not ready to retire that clip. I am absolutely not. So yeah, we need to keep Albie around for just a little bit longer. Yeah, oh my God, that accent kills me every time I hear him in an interview. Just absolutely kills me. Um, but yeah, and then obviously that they also sound like when they talked a little bit about the Clase and Ortiz situation, they sound very resigned to the fact that they're not coming back. They sound like they've already counted them out. They don't think that they're coming back, and they don't think that they're going to be counted on for next year. Um, so that felt like an interesting little section of the interview too.
You almost wonder too at this point if they aren't suspended permanently, lifetime ban, if they're even welcomed back. A lot of the
Hmm.
guys were very pointed in their responses when they were interviewed about it. Specifically, like Kate Smith was very like, "It happened, it's done. We're moving past it."
Hmm.
And I think that's for a reason. I don't think they. I just don't know if they would be able to return to that clubhouse. Because even
Yeah,
if they are like proven innocent by the league or whatever, that's still,
There's a
they,
cloud.
yep.
yeah.
Just the fact that they were close enough to be temporarily suspended for this long may have
Temporarily.
cost,
It's half the goddamn season at this
yeah,
point.
like that cost them the wild card series. Imagine if we would have had Ortiz or Class A in the wild card series.
Well, and I think
You,
that it has to be, I mean, they have to have, there has to be reason to believe that they are guilty of whatever they're being accused of. Um, and if it comes back that they're not, and somehow they are still allowed to return to the league, you're right, Nicole. I don't know how welcome they would be in that locker room just because of the way the season transpired. And in that case, that would be so unfair to those guys who then would have been innocent, but still have these ruined relationships and this fractured clubhouse culture that they can't come back to. So I just can't see that being reality. If that's the way it works out, then MLB has some apologizing to do to the team and the players, and there's got to be some form of compensation to both parties. And I don't see it playing out that way. I think, unfortunately, where if we ever hear again, it's going to be that there's evidence that they were in fact placing bets or not placing bets on
colluding.
themselves, but yeah, colluding on bets with other people.
And
I
then
think oh,
they gotta solve this. They gotta come out soon. There's like $100 and some million between the two contracts just sitting on the table that could go get a free agent to solve one of the holes in the lineup. And it just has to be put into an escrow account essentially. Because you don't know like what happens if Class A
Because they're
does
also
come
they're
back.
still getting paid right now.
Yeah,
We're
like
still
what happens
paying
if
them.
Class A does come back and now you're up for his salary that you've already kind of allotted elsewhere. It's like they're not gonna, that's just making
Yeah.
them giving the Dolans an excuse to not spend even more. when they could because they don't know where that money's going
Well,
if they need
that's
us.
kind of what I'm saying. Like, if it comes back that Clase didn't do anything and he does come back in return next year, in my opinion, I think the league would then owe the Guardians the money back for what we paid him in 2025 and he wasn't allowed to play. Like, there
Yeah.
has to be some sort of payback for the fact. I mean, our trade deadline depended on those guys not being here. Like,
Yeah,
guys aren't a part of this organization anymore because of these suspensions. And I don't think, I think if they do come back innocent, there is such a mess here that MLB wouldn't know how to clean up that there's no other way through it. Like, there's no way those guys are coming back.
I
You will
just
take a competitive round draft pick and you will like it.
I just don't think the MLB would take this long for an innocent conviction personally. We saw how quickly, and I know it's Shohei Ohtani, and so it's a different, level of player, but we saw how quickly that was a turnaround because I feel like it has the same sort of, these implications of having like a bigger impact in teams and trade deadlines and all of that. Um, I just think if there wasn't any question about it, then it would have been done by now.
I agree.
Yeah.
A couple other notes on the end of the season. This is again from Mizell's article. If you haven't seen it, David Fry did undergo nasal septoplasty procedure at the Cleveland Clinic on last Tuesday. So that was basically a week ago at this point when this episode drops for to repair a deviated septum and a fractured nose. I remember a lot of us were saying like, "Oh, thank God, no surgery." But they do mention that they needed to let the swelling subside before they could actually accurately see what was going on there, which makes sense. Um, so
Do
yeah,
you
so it's
guys do
what
you guys think this is going to be a handsome Squidward situation? Is David Fry going to come back yassified?
David Fry will come back with a nose job. I don't know what his
yeah,
nose looked like before. I've never thought about. I've never. I His
he
nose
was a
was not
cute
remarkable.
dude. Like
Yeah,
it
David's
wasn't
a
like he
handsome
was,
man.
yeah. We'll have to side by side his mugshots from this year and last year,
Mugshot.
next year and this past year to see how the surgeon did.
Side profile
Um,
and everything.
He's gonna
Do you
come
think
back
he
looking
had
like
this?
Kate Smith.
he
I was going
comes
to ask
with a photo of Cade and said, "Make me look like this."
do you think he has the same plastic surgeon as the Kardashians?
Oh God.
Hey, Chloe did live in Cleveland for a bit. Maybe
Oh,
She had her baby at Cleveland Clinic, right?
Yeah,
thanks.
or
sure.
she
Yeah.
may have one of
I think
Tristan's
she did. I
kids.
mean, I work at the clinic. I feel like that was part of the
Yeah.
Part of the lore.
part of the lore, yeah. The hallowed grounds.
Oh my. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to compare David Fry's player headshots year to year and see do an in plastic surgery investigation to see.
TMZ
Um
style.
yeah. Speaking of surgery, Nick Enright unfortunately will also be undergoing Tommy John. So he's going to miss the entire season next year, which is just a huge bummer considering his story this year and how he overcame cancer 3 years ago and broke into the majors. And Mizell mentioned he posted a 2.3003, excuse me, 2.03 ERA in 27 appearances this season. Um, he was good out of the bullpen. He was, just a good steady arm to have. So that's a huge bummer for him. Hopefully he'll come back after Tommy John and um just kill it later on. And then Mikayla, for you, also the Stephen Kwan is not going to be getting surgery on his wrist. He is just going to rest to hopefully recover. So fingers crossed that's all he needs. And he doesn't miss any of the season next year. But I think that's a wrap on that. Um, Moving on, the current postseason, the Guardian. Well, not really. We can't really call this a Guardian list postseason because we've got several former Guardians on several of the teams. Currently, right now, what was I just looking at? MLB. We are, like I said, we are recording this Sunday night. It's currently 9:15. It is currently the fifth inning. Fourth inning just ended. Uh, Blue Jays versus the Mariners, and the Blue Jays are leading 1-0 currently. So we've got plenty of former guards on both of those teams. The aforementioned Ernie Clement, um, Shane Bieber, obviously, Andres Jimenez, Nick Sandlin, and I'm missing
Miles
one.
Miles
Straw.
Straw.
Thank you,
And
Miles
DeMarlo
Strong.
Hale is coaching for the Blue Jays.
Is he really? Oh my
Remember he
God.
went.
Literally, they are Guardians of the North. Though, fun fact, Seattle is actually further north than Toronto is. I learned that today. So, Guardians of the kind of North. And then
Yeah.
obviously our good friend, new father, Joss Naylor on the Mariners. So, how do we feel about the playoffs right now?
I kind of want both teams to win.
Right?
Right.
As
I've
long
never
as the
felt that.
Dodgers don't make it to the World
I don't
Series,
care
I'm
who,
happy.
I actually don't care who
Yep.
wins as long as it's not the Dodgers. I would be actually really happy for any of for the Brewers, the Blue Jays, or
Mhm.
Seattle. I would be ecstatic for all three of them, all three of their fan bases. I nope, that's just anybody but the Dodgers, and I feel bad because
No, don't feel bad. That's the right attitude to
that's the
have.
right, okay, that's the right take. Okay,
That
cool.
is the ethical, the
Ethical
the
baseball.
correct.
Yeah,
Yes,
to
exactly.
quote
That is
Tigers fans, that's the ethical baseball take. So going back a little bit, I know the AL is playing right now and NL's starting tomorrow. There's more former Guardians also in the playoffs on the NL side. Alex Call came up through our system before we traded him. He premiered in 22, DFA'd, sent to the Nationals, then got traded to the Dodgers.
Jake
And
Bowers.
then Jake Bowers and
Yes.
Andrew Monasterio was on that 2021 Rubber Ducks team. I don't think he
Nicole
made
with
the
the
playoff
minor league
roster.
lore.
Yeah. So
I don't think
impressed.
he made the playoff roster for the Brewers, but I did get to tell him he was one of my favorite Rubber Duckies when they were in town, and he flashed me a smile and a thumbs up. So we like Monasterio.
And also one of our current minor leaguers' brothers, right?
Yeah, Jackson Churio,
Yep, the
his brother
Churios.
Jason Churio is in our system.
Yes, the better Churio is in our
Yeah.
system, though.
Invest in his baseball cards.
I shouted that so last year my husband and I went to the Brewers when the Guardians were in town, and we were right in left field first row, and I shouted at Jackson, "This is why we like your brother better," and he just lost it. He started looked at us and started laughing.
I love that.
What a good sport.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I really do think like my gut is that the Blue Jays are going to take it in 7 and that the Brewers are going to take I think both LCSs are going to go 7 games, and I think it's going to be Jays Brewers for the World Series.
That's a good World Series.
That is a
Ah.
good World Series. Like Seattle and Brewers are a good World Series. Jays and Brewers are a good World Series. Both
I
of
think
those because
Rob
Seattle
Manfred
hasn't.
hates that,
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
but that's
Oh,
a good World.
marketing
I hope-
will hate that.
I hope
Absolutely.
viewership goes like skyrockets though. I really
Yeah.
do.
I mean, we're
Here's-
gonna have a whole country watching it. I mean, I don't know if that's what
Right.
you want.
I don't know if you won't have like New York as much, but like because I don't know, but the Yankees and Dodgers last year
That's boring.
you had to tape my eyes open. It was not fun. That's just not for me. I don't know. I don't want to I want to see the smaller teams win. I want to see some like charisma out there, not just like dollar signs. I love that.
Yeah.
That's
I do think though the Dodgers make it to the World Series. I love you, Brewers.
Boo.
I know. It's just just they've got so much like
I
just so
know.
much going for them.
If the
I know.
Brewers can get to the Dodgers bullpen and just
Yes.
smack around a little bit better than the Reds
Yeah.
had a chance to, then yeah, I think the Brewers could do a lot of damage if their hitters can stay hot and just, keep their energy into the end game. But yeah, this has been some of the I know I'm a newer fan to baseball in general, and like most of you are lifelong fans, but this has been one of the most fun postseasons. Like, I don't remember caring so much about not just who I'm hate watching, but like the other series. Like, I'm actually caring about the NLCS and NL wild card this year, which that's never happened to me
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. I normally, if the Guardians don't make the postseason, we know that going into it. And so I can kind of get over my mourning the end of their season and get into it. Usually, when they do make the postseason, I am so sad when they lose that I can't bear to watch anyone else play, and I just don't watch the rest of the series. But this year, I'm really into it. Tigers Mariners was an excellent hate watch.
I stayed up for
Yes.
that whole thing. I was like, this is gonna ruin the next day, but it was so worth it.
Yes, it absolutely was worth it.
Josh Naylor stealing third base was a work of art.
I need to know what happened to Josh Naylor to make him be this absolute base stealing machine that he has become this year.
He's
Because he's
second.
literally in the top what, five of base stealers in the entire league?
He's also
Top
the
10?
second slowest runner in the MLB.
Yes.
Can I
Behind
What
say
ahead of
something
Austin
that
Hedges.
this is gonna come off as a little bit haterish? And I love Josh Naylor, and I don't mean it to be that way. I don't know what it is that's made him good at stealing bases. Um, but one would think that the Guardians traded him, did not extend him because this second half production, this playoff production, just wasn't there when he was a Guardian, and they just weren't comfortable committing to him financially. Um, Given that information. And sometimes I think that motivates you a little bit.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know that Josh will ever admit it, but knowing that your former team didn't really believe in you at this part of the season probably lights a fire under your ass a little bit. Like, oh, if I want to get paid the way I think I deserve to get paid, I've got to show up in these moments. And I wonder if base stealing just became one of those little, here's how I can make myself valuable on the margins. I can create runs for my team. And that's just something that he built into his game because whether you're hitting or not, if you're getting on base and stealing bases, that's productivity.
Well,
And
and
I just don't
also,
know. Yeah, I don't know if he were still a Guardian if he's doing this. I think
no,
the
I don't
trade
see that
probably propels
whatsoever.
him into being this player.
Also, base stealing isn't just about being fast. It's about reading the pitcher. It's about reading the catcher. It's about knowing what's coming next and figuring out, like, okay, this guy's got a high leg kick. This guy's coming out of the stretch or whatnot. Like, it's about reading that and understanding it and picking the right moment to steal the base and knowing if the catcher is going to be able to make the throw, knowing if the second baseman or the shortstop is going to be able to make the catch and the tag. It'd be interesting to see in Josh's future if one, he can keep this up, and two, in his post player career, in his retirement, if he decides that he wants to coach, if he becomes a first base coach. I could see him being a Sandy, because Sandy can read catchers and pitchers really well and know when to make those steals. Not all the time, but like, and also that's on the player too for not being as fast or doing the swim move or whatnot.
Being a
But
bad jump, yeah.
yeah, that's also on the player. But I have heard from several players and several other people that Sandy's very good at reading the catcher and the pitcher and knowing when the time to steal is the best. So obviously something has happened and he has found those magical moments. In reading the catcher and reading the pitcher to figure out when he can make these moves. And good on him.
Yeah. Shout out to the Seattle coaching staff and whatever players in that dugout have helped him get to that point too. You
Hmm.
know, Obviously, like you said, Sandy, you're right. Like there are so many times where I'll look at Brian and go, Sandy's got something. And like next thing you know, we have like 4 stolen bases on the game. Because he just gets this glint in his eye when he figures out a pitcher's timing. So, maybe something with Seattle's first base coach, just they were able to coach Josh in the way that made sense for Josh. And sometimes it just takes a different coach to unlock that part of you. I also have the theory that, he hits home runs, he already has power, so he didn't need dad pop. So instead, he got dad speed.
I like that.
I think that's a good evaluation. Um, I just checked again. They're moving into the bottom of the fifth, and it's still 1-0 Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays scored in the first and two hits apiece. It is a pitcher's duel, it looks like. Do you guys know who's pitching tonight? Gosman?
Gossman and I think Bryce
Miller.
Miller.
That's
Worth
been
And
the
noting
the
that
name.
Cal Raleigh was thrown out at the plate in the first inning too. So that is looming large right now.
Mm. You know that Cal Raleigh is actually a Caleb? I learned this
Right?
today.
I hate that. His name should
I
be Kale then. But
yeah,
I
like
like him
no.
as a player, so I'll get over it.
Yeah. That doesn't bother me as much as it should, but yeah, like no, I don't like it when people shorten names and then change the pronunciation of the name.
Yeah.
If you're Caleb, then your nickname is
Okay.
Kale?
Kale.
K, I
Leb.
guess. I don't
It's
No.
just Leb.
Just to be
Le-
cute.
Leb
know.
Rally.
Leb Riley. Now he's teleported backwards like a century. Leb Riley sounds like an old school baseball name.
Oh my God,
Nah,
he's
he's
from the era that Kate Smith is from.
yes. Cade Smith is a World War II veteran. Never
For
forget it.
sure. World War One, maybe.
Question mark?
What
No,
did it
I
look
can absolutely see Cade Smith in a now granted he's Canadian, but I'm picturing him obviously an American but an Air Force pilot.
Yeah.
He is a pilot that flew over and did some uh badass shit. Badass stuff because Cade
Yeah, you
in my
can't
own
curse with
personal
Kate.
lore,
Yeah.
he doesn't curse.
No, he
Um,
doesn't.
whether or not that's true, I don't know, but he gives off that aura of he has never uttered a swear word in his life.
In the event that anyone in the Guardians clubhouse ever hears this podcast, I need a Cade Smith profanity counter. You've got the Jose helmet counter. I want the Cade Smith profanity
Let's hit up
counter.
Papa Schnee. That's our in.
Yeah,
And
on the season next year.
for the sake of Kate Smith, I have a feeling it's a Quincy thing. Frick and dang do count.
They do count.
They do
Oh,
count.
Okay.
I don't think he says frick or dang either. No, I agree with that. Yeah, he is very clean, I feel like. All right. So,
Uh,
ethical postseason, that's where we're at. Anybody but the Dodgers.
That sounds right.
So, Mikayla has some baseball card news. Since she is on the pod, we are talking cards. What she got for us, Mikayla?
Hey, yeah, this is okay. So Topps just released this new incentive. Let me find my notes called the Three Kings Program. So upon first hearing about this, I was really excited. But then after like thinking about it, I'm like, eh. So the Three Kings Program is or incentive is if you get all three of a player's big cards, which is their Bowman Chrome first Superfractor, the auto, their rookie debut patch auto, and their rookie auto superfractor from Topps Chrome. So three one of one superfractors. Well, the debut patch is a huge chase card. So it's meant to like reward super collectors. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a Stephen Kwan super collector. So at first you're like, oh yeah, this is great. Like I'm a super collector. Finally, I can I can do something. But it's actually there's just a lot of limitations that I think are an issue, and it's also kind of tone deaf for the current state of the card collecting world, especially because we're seeing like this shift from collecting to investing. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of better ways we could have done it. So, first and foremost, the limiting factor for this will always be the rookie debut patch that did not start until 2023. So, Stephen Kwan does not have one. Will Brendan does not have one.
Womp womp.
Anyone who debuted after 2023 will have it. Um, the Guardians actually have 22 players who have had a debut patch and who will have a debut patch in this upcoming
Sounds about
2026.
right.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah. And well, that's also like the ones who will have patches in this upcoming release at the end of the year for Topps Chrome Update
so like
2025.
CJ and George and
So they won't be in it. They'll be in 2026.
yeah, so okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is 2025. So this is going to be like Schneeman, John Kenzie, and all them. Um, my next issue is that a lot of the affordable players would just don't have a Bowman first. So Daniel Schneeman, who spent a lot of time in the minors, does not have a Bowman first card. Even though the Guardians have a whole bunch. I just said I just bought a Bowman first of a 16-year-old the other day, but Schneeman didn't get one. And you kind of see that a lot for these type of players that like Cleveland develops. Um, Also, it makes these three superfactors are just so expensive. To kind of put it in perspective, The Junior Caminero Three Kings has already been claimed by a super collector named Kearns. He's notorious for
Mm.
collecting like these massive cards. So the Caminero debut patch sold for $66,000.
Jesus Christ.
His Bowman first auto sold for $34,000, and I couldn't find a price on the super rookie. So imagine now you have a card that equals all three of those
That's
combined.
a whole ass salary.
Yeah. So yeah, so
Like
once
each
you
card.
get so if you
Yeah,
have all three of
literally.
those cards, you get another card, a signed card. It's the first person who can prove they have all three of those cards in their ownership. They get a fourth card. And then that fourth card is like so the one that they debuted is for Junior Caminero and it says to Kern the King on it. For Kern being the collector. And so that's like the only way. So every player who has all three of those, you can redeem that card. Um so at first I was like, oh my God, this could be super cool, but then it's like so expensive. And then I was
Yeah.
looking into it and I'm like, oh wow, Guardian. So we have 22 players who have MLB debut patches, including this upcoming release end of the year. And of those 22, 10 of them qualify for the Three Kings, one of them being Jose Tena. So we have 9 players essentially, which would be Rocchio, Bybee, Williams, Manzardo, Cantillo, Martinez, Nikhazy, Noel, and Will Wilson are our so like David Fry
Oh,
doesn't
Will Wilson.
Will
qualify, Tim
Wilson.
Hare. Yeah, Will Wilson made the cut. Yeah, David Fry, Logan Allen. Logan Allen does have a Bowman, but he doesn't have a Bowman first auto, which I thought was weird, if anyone cares. But yeah, so we have like a lot of these really cool players that just won't even qualify, even though they will have this MLB debut patch. So I think it's like a cool program for the future. It's just like super unaffordable.
Yeah.
Um, and I
You know what?
think that's a major
I was
issue. Go ahead.
sorry. I'm sorry. No, I was just gonna this sounds like an excuse for tops to increase their prices. And we all know like in the hobby that there's so much speculation and conspiracy that these big cards are only going to the people that Top sends card to pull and rip, and it's not going in your hangers that you can buy at Walgreens. Like
Yeah.
this already is like it's the one of ones are already
Yeah, because
there's already so much
this isn't
bullshit
something you
around
can
them.
pull, right? This isn't something you can pull, which is I think is the issue partially is right. It's not like anybody can get this. It's not like Joe down the because like Joe down the street, right, could pull the Shohei Ohtani one of one. Joe down the street cannot pull this. You have to invest so much money, even if you're a smaller player. Like one of one cards aren't cheap at any point. Um, but I thought there was this. So one of the cool things I did see pop up is that JB on Twitter, Old Town JB, he's a Daniels collector. He was like, "Hey, I have some alternative ideas," and I think this is what Top should like lean into. Especially because if we want to reward super collectors as a super collector, I think we should reward super collectors. I mean, it's like a full-time job. This is so lame. It's like a
No, it
full-time
is.
job to like constantly search for Stephen Kwan cards. I check like 7 different apps like 80 times a day, constantly looking for the exact weird parallels that I know are never gonna pop up. Um, so I think rewarding someone who's like putting that amount of time and effort into just chasing a silly little piece of cardboard, I think is kind of nice. So like so anyway, so JB on Twitter suggested if any collector finishes a completed rainbow, then you get like your own little rainbow one of one card. And it's like,
A
and I
little
think
prism
that
card. That'd be
see
cute.
like that
Yeah.
seems nice and enjoyable and like
That's
it's
doable.
because usually what happens is somebody gets a one of one when they pull it, right? And they're like, "Oh, this is it. I'm gonna do the rainbow. I pulled a one of one," and then right, and then it becomes like an actual obtainable goal and a way for Taps to recognize this amount of dedication that people are putting into their product, right? Another one they saw was if you have like certain, you can get badge cards for 100 unique cards or 250 unique cards of a certain player, and then so you earn like little award cards for how many of those unique cards you have. Um, if you collect the full decade of a player's parallel from flagship, so he suggests the gold trout base from 2011 to 2021. I actually know a person who has every Jose Ramirez black card from flagship for his entire career. Like that's incredible. It's an incredible card to collect, and he has it for every single year. And so I would love to see things like that. There's other options are like if you complete like a full set in any certain parallel. Some people do like full sets and they only get in the gold out of 50.
Hmm.
He also suggests doing the full team rainbow if you get every player in the checklist from your team like in a certain color. Um, I just think and I just thought that was such a great way to put this. Is like, hey, Topps is, recognizing that we should shout out to our collectors who were putting so much into the hobby, while at the same time not doing it in a tone deaf way that's more for your average collector, the people who actually like who keep the hobby afloat every day, um, rather than your investors and your people who are spending full like annual salaries on single cards. Uh,
Yeah, they're like in Topps has the ability to custom they do with the Topps now. There's no reason they can't do like a custom, Mikayla's pink Stephen Kwan card. Like like honor the people who, like you said, honor the people who are doing these big multi-year, multi-collection, multi-series um pulls and hunts like that you're right. Like that's what's keeping the hobby alive because, I'm sure you're a lot like me too, where I just have a pile of cards and you give them away at a certain point because it's not worth the hassle
oh
of trying to
yeah,
sell them unless it's a big card,
yeah. I actually I'm gonna give away a whole bunch of cards here upcoming. I have so many. I'm just too lazy to sell.
right?
They're not worth it. I'm like, eh. But I just think I think I'm optimistic that Topps walks away from this and actually takes it. I do think Topps listens to the collectors. I really do. I do hope Topps walks away from this and recognizes this is a good idea. Like this is a good idea. It's not necessarily feasible for everybody, but there are so many other options that are feasible for so many collectors, and I think it could be much because a lot of people don't collect rainbows. A lot of people don't collect like that, right? Everyone collects very differently. Some people only like at the every year they do the gold. So right now like this year's we're gold out of 2025. There are so many people who just collect like the birthday of their kid who was born in 2025, and there's so many cute ways that people collect that I think we should empower. And I'm optimistic that Topps walks away from this and recognizes that there are other ways of collecting that we should promote that aren't just chasing $60,000 cards.
I'll say I literally did not care about baseball cards at all until I discovered that this year's card was the photo that I of the game that I met Hedgie at. Like that's literally the only thing. And now I've got a whole stack of cards sitting at my desk upstairs, and I'm trying to collect a bunch of different colors and parallels and whatnot. And I'm trying to learn the lingo and figure it
So
out.
I see, like, I would love for you to get the full rainbow of that. Like, if I find the one of one, I'll get it for you.
Did
Um,
the series 2 have the wood grain for the hedgy one? Because I
I
missed
think
the
yes,
Brennan wood grain.
I
I
think they
haven't.
did.
yeah,
I haven't gotten. I just got I have a full photo, which I think
I think I
Mikayla, did
sent
you
it to
send
you.
that to
Yeah.
me? Yeah. That was also cool too because Mikayla retweeted me when I figured that out, and so I had several collectors reach out to me and just send me random cards
See,
just out
man,
of
That's how they work.
yeah,
the
like
hobby
no
gets me,
money,
man.
nothing. They were just like, here, I have, and also like because also it's Austin Hedges, and they're like,
Yeah,
I'm not getting any money for this. So
it goes back to the I am the market.
yeah, yeah. Like, I'm sorry, I'm the only person who wants this. Like,
But I'd like
um,
it would be so cool if like you got the rainbow of that, and then Topps was like, "Hey, here's your cool card," because
yeah.
this is like, and like that's important to you, and I think that's There's another guy who's like a ball boy who like collects all of the cards that he's in the background of.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool. I love
Like there's so
that.
many.
That's
Man,
super
especially
cute.
for the cards that have low print run. Because like Aaron Judge, they print
Yeah,
multiple thousands of his base card, but like someone like Austin Hedges isn't getting a lot of his printed
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. The hobby's
for the
full of
same
good
variants.
ideas and good people, and I'd like think we should reward them. I really do.
Quick plug, don't forget about her hobby. Mikayla, what night is that?
November 15th from 3 to
November
7
15th
p.m.
at Brunuts,
at
right?
Brunettes. Yes. It's gonna
Don't
be so
forget,
much fun.
friends.
It's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna have tons of giveaways and cards to trade and fun to be had. And I'm so excited to see everybody
I know a
there.
couple of the Caught Lookin ladies will be there, and we're hoping I'm gonna try and get some stickers that the ladies who are there can pass out to people. So, quick update though, granted this is going to be playing tomorrow, so everyone's going to know, but Cal Raleigh just hit a home, not just hit a home run, but hit a home run and it's now tied up
Big
1-1.
number.
Big dumper. I hope he hit it to Big Dumper 62 or 63
Okay,
or whoever's
62.
out in the stands.
that was the cutest thing I've ever seen
Did you guys see the
because
line that was in this? Oh no, because they're in Toronto right now, aren't they? So the
Yeah.
guy wouldn't be there, the fan wouldn't be there.
I do have the game on in the background of the screen, and there was unfortunately no Big Dumper 62
Womp womp.
in the screen
I
grab.
love
So
that
sad.
Seattle flew like paid for him to come to game 5.
Yeah.
because he's from Vegas, right? He's
Oh,
not
is he
from.
really?
I
I
Yeah,
didn't
didn't
know
know that.
I
that.
don't think he's because he flew in from Vegas to Detroit and he stayed the next because he stayed an extra day and he said, "Oh yeah, because I have to fly back to Vegas." I think that exact scenario was exactly why I love baseball because every
Hmm.
single Detroit fan was so excited for him. I love
Pulling
that.
off the shirt too, having the next shirt
Yes.
underneath.
Sobbing. I was like,
Perfect.
this is baseball. Like this is it. This is
Beautiful.
why I love this. No notes, absolute cinema. Perfect.
We are
Mans was
ridiculous
prepared.
people, truly. I'm not sure if, granted, football fans are their own brand of crazy and they dress up and have, all their costumes and their face paint and stuff, but yeah, baseball fans have their own brand of crazy too. After 162 games per year plus playoffs on top of that, you get tired. And
Start looking like Mr. Krabs.
yeah,
Game
yeah.
162.
And we have our couple of baseball face people that always end up kind of like behind the first base dugout. I think I want to say they're
But
there.
do they go to regular season games?
I don't know.
So
I'm wondering if they're
I
there,
don't think
but they
they
just don't
don't.
paint their faces
There
or
has to
hold
be
up
because
their
I've never
signs.
seen anyone
I
there.
was I was gonna say that because when I saw when they were in the playoffs, the wild card series, I'm like, oh, the baseball face people are back. But then I was thinking about that. I'm like, I didn't see them at all during the regular season. Maybe the baseball face paint and the signs are just for the playoffs, which fair. I don't think I would want to paint my face for 162 games. So and hold up custom signs
That can't
for
be good
100.
skincare.
No, no, I don't think so. That's a lot of
Also,
pore clogging right there. Yeah,
Seattle
Janelle.
just took the lead.
Oh shit, really?
Our,
Wait,
our
Ooh,
arch
I'm 30
am I
seconds
rooting?
nemesis,
behind.
I think I'm rooting for
our
Seattle,
arch nemesis,
guys.
Jorge Polanco, known Guardians killer,
I
has
take
Oh,
so
that makes
much
Shayla
joy in
happy.
seeing Jorge Polanco ruin someone else's life that isn't mine. Like, at least he's doing this to everyone.
I think I'm
Yep,
rooting for
yep.
Seattle. I can like now that the game is happening and you're giving me updates, it's obvious. Oh my God, I'm so sorry,
Like now
Guardians
that they're
people.
not, they're the visitors, they're the underdog, quote unquote.
I don't know. I just really like the whole Seattle vibe.
Naylor's up right now. I'm just looking at them on game day. I'm not playing the game, but we'll see what he has two swinging strikes that are both out of the strike zone. So good job.
That's
That's
the
never
Naylor I know
changed.
in
sounds
the
about right.
Vintage Das Naylor. Love you, man.
his walk rate has been so much better with anyone but the Guardians.
Telling you, they had
Oh,
to set him free to make him the best version of himself. I love
truly.
that for him.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's fine. If sometimes that's the way it works. Ernie Clement, same thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
granted, I was looking back and I'm like, Ernie was only with us for like in the big leagues for like 5 months or something. He really wasn't with the team that long. I'm like,
Nope.
why are we all so hung up on Ernie Clement?
Because he was cool. Because
Have
he
you
was a
seen
cool
that
dude.
man?
He is cool. And also it was the Kenny Lofton-esque steal of him of home.
First to third, yeah, or first to home.
Yeah. Oh, that was good.
And then he was DFA'd the week later.
I know, right? Oh,
For Will Brennan.
pour one out
Fun fact.
for Ernie.
I don't think I could have told you that was for Will. That's sad.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yep. It was for
That's
Will Brennan. For that
crazy.
call up.
You win some, you lose some.
Oh,
Hey. It was my I was sad, but then I was like, right, he's the reason why Josh Naylor missed the 21 season because he's the one who broke out to right and
oh.
collided with Naylor.
Yeah, that nasty injury. Oof.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Well,
love Ernie, though.
Nicole, You had something you wanted to mention about the Women's Baseball League.
Yeah, the Women's Professional Baseball League, if you guys haven't heard, Women's Professional Baseball League's making a baseball league.
Woohoo!
They held the draft tryouts this summer. They have their draft list compiled and they haven't set a date. I'm assuming they're waiting on some back end papers to be signed or whatever, but they keep teasing that very soon they will be announcing the 4 cities that they will be having teams in next year.
That's
So
exciting.
it's very soon. It's 4 cities. And then as soon as they announce the cities, as soon as they announce the teams, they are going straight into the draft. So that's all going to happen sometime this off season. Keep an eye on that. It's very exciting. We finally have women's professional baseball and a lot of great talent, a lot of women who have been playing professionally in leagues like the Lake Erie, not for the Crushers, but like the Crushers, or women who've been even playing in Banana Ball. So
Mhm.
there's been a lot of women under the radar playing professional baseball that are getting a shot to get the spotlight a bit. So I'm very excited.
Yeah,
I hope
that
Cleveland
should
gets a
be
team.
super cool. Cleveland's getting all the teams. We got our WNBA league coming, or our new WNBA team coming soon.
And then
28?
in
2028.
2028.
That's
And
what I
then we
thought.
get the
When
women's
Caitlin
soccer
Clark's
team too.
Yes, soccer's coming.
Caitlin Clark's contract is up at that time. So
Ooh,
bring
so
Caitlin
we
Clark
might
She
get her
did
an
back.
say she
expansion
loved
draft.
Cleveland when she was
I know.
here for.
I'm just trying to put that into the world.
Yes.
Bring her home.
Spiritually home.
Spiritually home.
All right, to wrap up this episode, playing off of the Guardians' latest Truth or Drink that they dropped on their Instagram and Twitter, your favorite guilty pleasure song? I'll go first since I know off the top of my head. And this is surprise, surprise, not at all surprising. Head and Heart by Joel Corey. That was Austin Hedges's off walk-up song back in 22, I want to say. No, sorry. I think it was 21 because it was the year after he got traded. It's a good bop, man. Give it a listen.
So following the same vein, mine is White Tiger by AC/DC. It's Britain's walk-up song, has been for a couple of years
Yes.
now. Absolute bop.
Beautiful.
I feel like is Bohemian Rhapsody a bad answer?
I don't think that's a guilty
Right?
pleasure.
Isn't it a guilty? It's just like an absolute banger.
It's a
all the
banger.
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think that is a universally loved song. So no, I'm not going to call that a guilty pleasure.
Okay. It's a song I don't like. Let me
You don't
think.
normally listen to Queen, so you feel like that's
Yeah, I don't use. Yeah, I'm like, I don't usually listen to Queen. So when I do, I'm like, ooh.
Allie or Janelle.
I think Never Gonna Give You Up, as much as the internet has ruined that for people,
No, it's a good
I
one.
enjoy being rickrolled, honestly.
So fun fact. We told everyone that Brian and I were going to walk after we were pronounced husband and wife, that we were going to walk to I Believe in a Thing Called Love by the
I
Darkness, and we instead rickrolled our entire like wedding, whatever people
Wedding
that came to
party.
our wedding. Yeah,
Wedding
thank you.
party.
Okay, so fun
Yes.
fact, I actually did walk into my reception to I Believe in a Thing Called Love by The Darkness.
Excellent.
Wait, that's the best music video to ever exist.
I love that song. That might be another guilty pleasure. I Believe in a Thing Called Love. Allie, you got anything for us?
Listen, I struggle with this because I'm going to turn it into a think piece. You should never feel guilty for liking something that is good,
That's
okay?
yes. No, you're yes.
But
I'll agree with you.
I have deliberately listened to a Morgan Wallen song before and thought, I don't mind this.
Oh,
I don't mind this.
Oh,
My
no, Allie, that is absolutely yeah. No, that's a
And
guilty
so
pleasure
I
right
was
there.
gonna be like, Year 3000 by the Jonas Brothers, but I don't feel guilty about that. That's a banger. I feel guilty about anything Morgan Wallen, but
And
I
you
kind of
should feel guilty.
Mhm.
I will say
Don't
a
worry, I
couple.
do. I was sitting over here silently debating whether or not I even wanted to say it, but had to.
A couple years ago, I was in the top 0.1% of listeners to have T Grizzly who had
I've never even heard of that person.
exactly. Uh yeah. So
Shout.
that song got me for a while. I had to like choose.
Okay, so here's another one that's I think low key. So I'm looking at my Apple Music replay of all time. They launched this um after Apple Music had been out for a decade. Now, granted, I only got Apple Music about like 4 years ago or so. I was a Spotify listener before that. But my top my third top song of all time on Apple Music is Say Ah by Trey Songz.
That's a good one though. It's a banger.
It's so good. I play it through, and that's why it's my third song. I play it through every single time it comes up on my shuffle.
Oh, I need to check that out for me.
Yeah, teach me how to do that on Spotify. How do I
I don't know if
find?
you can do it on Spotify. It
That's
was on, like I said,
devastating.
I haven't done
It's probably
uh
TD Grizzly. I shouldn't even need to look.
but yeah, Apple Music gave me a an all-time because they do a replay every I mean, granted, I think every service does a replay of the year of your top X songs. And when Apple Music had been out for 10 years, which I think was earlier this year, they cataloged all of your top played songs during your time on Apple Music, and gave it to you in a playlist. And it was Head and Heart is my number one. Wild Child by the Black Keys is my number two. And Say Ah by Trey Songz is my number three. And then
Oh.
Stupid for You by Water Parks is my number four. So there's a little bit of look into
Should make a Caught
Meg's.
Lookin playlist of all the songs we
We should
mentioned.
make a Caught Lookin playlist. That might be
We have
that'll
so
be some off-season
It's
content there that we
we've
can.
accidentally brought up music and songs a few times. I
yeah, this
actually
is
think
like
we
the
could
fourth
put
time I've had
together
to
a
say
good
a song.
playlist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we did do someone asked for our walk-up songs.
Okay, I'm
So
Yeah.
getting so much K-pop.
my son has been picking up K-pop Demon Hunters again and asking me. I heard him listening to I think it was either Golden or Takedown earlier today.
It's like my entire running playlist.
It's so
We
good. It's
we were
so
playing
good.
guess that song quiz on YouTube, and just every time I was like vaguely K-pop, I'm like K-pop Demon Hunters. Like we haven't watched it yet, and I was like, Brian's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's a movie. We need
You
to
haven't
watch
watched
it."
it?
You
You
do need
wait.
to watch it.
You
It's
No,
haven't
so
watched
good.
it yet?
we've been
Mikayla
comfort
is hurt.
rewatching Leverage.
I might cry. No, it's so good.
It's
I was
legitimately a good movie. It really
Now
is.
that
It's not
baseball's
just for
over, this is
kids.
when I get caught up on other
Yeah.
forms of media.
Yeah, this is when I start reading again. A book. Who would have thought?
Oh, so I think that's going to be a wrap on episode 7 of Caught Looking. Big thanks to all the ladies tonight, Allie, Jenell, Mikayla, Nicole, for joining me. And thank you to all for tuning in and supporting us every week, especially in the off season. I realize we're not going to have baseball content every single episode to talk about. But like I said, we do have some cool content coming for you guys planned. Um, we're gonna next week is going to be our very first Cavs centered episode. If any Guardians news pops up through the week, we're definitely going to talk about that too. But next week we're definitely going to be focusing more on Cavs. Like I said, be sure to follow us on our all of our social channels, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, wherever we're trying to hit all of our places. But keep an eye on those socials because we have a really fun and exciting announcement coming later this week. So be sure to keep an eye, so that you can be the first to know what's going to be coming next week. Um, and yeah, we're excited to keep this going through the off season. So whether you are here for the heart takes, the heartbreaks, or the home runs, don't get caught looking. Thanks, everybody.
Go Guards.
Go Guards, always.